In this video, we're gonna plan Black Friday 2025. Yes, you heard me, Black Friday 2025 here in the new year. Seems crazy, but just keep watching.
Shopify merchants drove, as you said, a record-breaking $5 billion on Black Friday. That was unprecedented. Shopify merchants have already surpassed last year's record of 9.3 billion sales globally for the weekend.
One of the biggest takeaways that I took from Black Friday 2024 was the importance of thinking about Q4 from the beginning of the year. And now a lot of people will say, well, of course, Q4 is the most important time for my consumer business. Of course, I think about it all the time. Yes, but the question is, do your actions and does the decision making really line up with the end of Q4? And are you thinking about how your decisions in January can really affect your decisions in November and beyond? For me, I felt like one of the biggest things that I wanted to bring into 2025 was make sure that I had a frame of reference of Q4 when we are working with our brands and our clients. I want to make sure that what we're doing is setting them up for success in Q4 and not even waiting, oh, it's July, let's start thinking about Q4, but really thinking about every single thing that we do. We want to make sure that this helps you have the best Q4. Every year, I preach the same thing. The winners of Q4 are the ones who invest in building demand over January to November. And in Q4, they just put in their best offer, put more spend, and get the most profits. What I want to do is help you think about your year from a creative standpoint and what you would need to do so you can set yourself up for success in Q4. The first thing to think about as you're looking into the year, and this is what we're going to be working with our clients on, is what are all of the sales that you're going to run? Now, you might run some other promos, but for the most part, what's the kind of overall calendar and what can we expect? This allows us to just work backwards from what are the sales graphics that we would need, what is some of the content that we need, and really just the overall flow of the year. The second thing that I would be looking into and working with clients on is what plans do they have for product development? Are they going to launch new SKUs? Are they going to launch new products? Not everything has to be set in stone in terms of exact timelines, but understanding where you're going to be in terms of producing and dropping new products can really be helpful for us as creatives because we can help you walk back and say, hey, if you're going to drop this in May, we need to be thinking about a photo shoot in February. And what are we going to do to be able to help you with that photo shoot? Or what do we need to do for new ads? And how does that affect the ad creative for that month and in general? So instead of reacting month over month, what we want to do is be able to see what are your sales, what's your product drops in development, and how does that allow us to kind of almost put pillars or kind of checkpoints across the calendar year to then help you work backwards on what creative you need to accomplish those goals as well as your Q4 goals. You have your sales, you have your product development, and then think about your brand holistically. Are there brand initiatives that you want to see? Are there positioning changes you want to make? Like, I want to really go after this type of customer in the new year. Or maybe there's just things like, hey, we're going to update our website and we want to redo our website. Okay, well, we'll need content for that as well, right? For it to be different. There's a lot of like brand things that you might be thinking about. And it's super important for us to understand what that is because we can then tell you if you want to launch a new website in July, let's say, you're gonna probably need a video shoot for that, a photo shoot for that. What are we gonna do to figure that out? How are we gonna think about planning that? These are things that we wanna know now so that we can help you think about it in April and we can start to plan out the shoot and really think about how we can partner with you as a creative studio to accomplish the brand website because you want that to be amazing or great. And maybe it's positioning. We wanna kind of change up how we're doing ad creative. All of the brand needs we want to know so that we can actually help you execute creatively month over month. Now, I think it's important to think about how did the last year go and really thinking about What could we have done better? Have more of a post-mortem on that time period so that we can already start to think about, okay, next year we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to make sure that we have a few more status, we have a few more graphics. Not only is that going to be important for the following Black Friday and Q4, but also the reason why we might not have had those things in this past Q4 was because we weren't prepared for it. We weren't thinking about it. We didn't have the system set up. Let's talk about what we didn't have in place so that starting in January, we can already start thinking about those things. We can already start thinking about, oh, wow, we were really underdeveloped in our process to have enough videos for that amount of spend. If we're going to spend double that next year, we really need to be thinking about how much content we really need to start creating today to get you up to that scale, to get you up to that spend. If we're not having a postmortem and thinking about that now, and we're gonna wait until October to start having those conversations, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, we need to double our output, probably not the easiest and best time to do that. But if we start thinking about it in January and really framing why are we creating what we're creating for Q4 now, yes, we want to see impact and performance in January, in April, in May, in all the months, of course. But we also want to make sure that the things that we're doing line up and help build up the foundation for a strong Q4. We should always remember that everything we do from January to November is just building the demand, building the systems, building up a great foundation so that you can just execute peacefully in Q4 and fulfill that demand. So as you're thinking about 2025, as you're thinking about what do you need, don't think about it from just today, but have that frame of mind of what are we going to do as a brand today over across the different categories. And then let's work it back from Q4 2025 all the way to January today. That is how you're going to have success in the coming year. Let me know if you have any other questions or things that you want to see when it comes to understanding the creative space, creative studio, and how we help brands with their content. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all those YouTube things, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.